Welcome back to the A to Z of purpose and leadership. Today is one that turns setbacks into strengths, failures into fuel. It's resilience. Resilience isn't about never falling, it's about always rising. Every leader, every entrepreneur, every visionary will stumble. The question isn't if we fall, it's how we'll rise up. I lived this truth. There was a season in my life, 2023, where it felt like I was being knocked down again and again. I was in the hospital for the fourth time. Then I had a miscarriage a few months later. A few months later, my father passed away. Then my relationship ended. Then I was on my own as a single parent. And it left me drained, broken, and lost. At first, I saw it all as failure. But resilience reframed my story. Each time I rose, I realized I was stronger, wiser, more grateful for what I had, and more capable than before. Resilience doesn't erase the pain of falling or of loss, it redefines it. 3 lessons for today. Number one, resilience is built through repetition. Here's the truth. We don't develop resilience in the abstract. We don't think to ourselves, resilience, we don't just think ourselves into doing it. We have to actually take the actions. And resilience is built in the actions of doing it over and over. It's forged every time you get back from falling. Every comeback reinforces the muscle of resilience. The more times we rise, the stronger our patterns become. According to studies, 75% of people who experience significant trauma eventually demonstrate what's called post-traumatic growth. That means 3 out of 4 people not only bounce back from adversity, they bounce forward. Let's look at Michael Jackson. Today, he's celebrated as one of the greatest athletes of all time, the GOAT. But early in his journey, he was cut from his high school basketball team. For many, that rejection would have been the end of his dream. But for Michael Jordan, it became his fuel. Instead of quitting, he doubled down. He spent hours in the gym. Also, he spent hours in his mental gym. He practiced longer and harder than anyone else. Every missed shot, every loss, every setback became a repetition in resilience. Later in his career, he reflected, I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. Jordan's resilience wasn't built in comfort, it was built in repetition, choosing day after day not to let failure define him, but let it refine him. Lesson number 2, resilience requires rest as much as effort. Here's a common misconception. We think that resilience means grinding endlessly, getting on that hamster wheel and just running and running and running, pushing ourselves to burnout, sleepless nights, never stopping. But the truth is, resilience is not about constant pushing. It's about knowing when to press pause, when to recharge, and then rise again. Burnout is not resilience. Balance is. Think of an athlete. Even the strongest muscles need time to recover. In fact, the growth happens during rest, not just in training. And the same is true for your spirit. If you want to sustain resilience, you have to build the rhythms of rest into your life. Reflection, recovery, and celebration. That's what allows you to rise not just once, but again and again. Lesson number 3, resilience becomes legacy when modeled. Here's the most beautiful part. Your resilience isn't just for you. Every time you rise, you show others that it's possible. Your children, your team, your community, they're watching. And when they see you stand back up, they believe they can too. Let's look at Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the most revered US presidents, he faced repeated defeats. He lost multiple elections, he battled depression, he endured devastating personal losses. For most people, those struggles would have been the end of the story, but not for Lincoln. Each setback became another repetition of resilience. He kept running, kept trying, kept standing back. That resilience prepared him for his ultimate calling, leading the nation through its most divided and painful chapter, the Civil War. Lincoln's resilience wasn't just about his own survival, it became a legacy. His perseverance gave a fractured nation hope that healing was possible. When you rise, you leave a legacy. Your resilience becomes someone else's permission slip. So let's make this personal. Take out a sheet of paper and write down 3 times in your life where you bounced back from difficulty. Maybe it was a financial struggle. Maybe it was a health struggle. Maybe it was a personal loss. Now circle the one that taught you the most. That's your proof of resilience. All 3 of those are evidence that you've already risen before. And if you've done it once, you can do it again and again. Falling is inevitable, but rising is optional. Resilience is the choice to rise again and again. So next time life knocks you down, remember the story isn't over when you fall. The story begins when you rise. That's the power of resilience. And that's our R from A to Z. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, if you haven't already, click our notifications bell and the subscribe button and join us on the next episode as we continue our journey from A to Z through purpose and leadership. Thank you very much.